What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you our Week 8 battle for the NCP. Today we are facing off against the Alabama Rollouts, coached by Mid, in a game that hopefully is going to keep us, in the top, 5 seeds. This game is Week 8. It is also the last week to make transactions, and I did make quite a few of them. Unfortunately, they are not active until next week. So the team is going to be a little bit different, quite different actually. I'm making 4 transactions, so hopefully we can do some work. But those transactions are pretty good. I'll kind of get into them a bit more next week because I don't want to take up too much time from this battle. But with the team that we currently have, I think our matchup is there's some really good things about this matchup. One of them is that he only has one Mon that is above base 95, and that is his Noivern. Everything else is pretty slow. He does have a couple ways to boost his speed or to lower speed for us, at least, with Sticky Web on Araquanid. He also has Shell Smash on Barbaracle. He has Rapid Spin on his Claydol as well as Rock Polish. He's got Shift Gear on the Toxtricity, so we have to be aware of that. So there are some things that we really have to be cognizant of before we just assume, okay, we can use our speed, quote-unquote speed, because our team is pretty slow as well. It's actually slower than his when you look at it, to our advantage. So looking at this team, the first thing I want to point out is that Conkeldurr and Obstagoon just ripped me a new one. They completely shit on my team. He can just slap a Flame Orb on both of them and say, fuck you, you are not taking these facades because I have one resist. And it's actually an immunity, and that's my double aid. And spoiler, it's not coming. It just can't come. It's not good, this matchup, in my opinion. There's the Snarl or the Fling from the even Overdrive actually can do a ton of damage from the Toxtricity. There's knockoff from Conkeldurr. A Guts boosted knockoff is going to do a ton of damage. Same thing with a Guts boosted knockoff from the Obstagoon. Gardevoir is very specially offensive, and yes, while Shadow Sneak would be fantastic, a Moonblast, even because it's resisted, is still going to do tons of damage because of my poor special defense. It does get Shadow Ball as well, or Mystical Fire. Noivern gets Flamethrower, Earth Power from the Claydol, Shadow Sneak, Shadow Ball, Phantom Force, whatever, from the Gourgeist knockoff from the Escavalier. So there's just problems everywhere for double A, so I didn't feel comfortable bringing it this week. But we do have quite a few threats that our opponent has trouble dealing with, and we're going to start with the first one, and that first one is our Como here. Como is really solid in this matchup. It gives me a really nice sweeper with Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, Poison Jab, and Drain Punch, and allows me to outspeed pretty much my opponent's entire team. Our speed here is for Gardevoir. I didn't really go too crazy with my spreads this week, guys. There really wasn't much need to, because it's just a matter of who's going to hit harder first and who's going to win the game by essentially basically trading. I don't anticipate this game to be a very high diff game. It's going to be very low, maybe 2-0, maybe 3-0 if someone does get like a Dragon Dance off, or I guess a Sticky Web off on his part, so it hopefully shouldn't be too bad. But we have Habanberry for the Noivern, which is really the only reason. If he doesn't bring Noivern, we have a useless item, but it is what it is. I want to run the Roselli Berry, but Gardevoir is not a safe mod to switch in on, so there's that. Soundproof is an amazing ability this game because Toxtricity really relies on sound moves with Punk Rock. It also reduces sound moves by half, which I did not know was a thing until Brain showed it to me. So shout out to Brain for that because I had no idea. But physical Como doesn't really matter. Doesn't care too much about that, but we do shut that thing down. He could be running Stored Power. He could be running Toxic and Hex, which was a set that Brain ran, which could be interesting. I was able to get rid of that thing pretty quickly, so it didn't really do too much. But hopefully this can do a lot of work for us. Drain Punch is there for pretty much just the Obstagoon and the Escavalier and the Barbaracle, I guess. But Dragon Claw hits everything else for better damage, and Poison Jab is there solely for the Gardevoir. And yeah, everything else would be fine with taking other hits, or wouldn't want to take other hits, so I'm going to go for that. So that's our Como here. I'm hoping that we can put in work with it. It hasn't been doing fantastic for us this season. It has a really poor differential and kill record, but it's just been consistent for us, consistently mediocre, honestly, and I'm hoping that we can do better with it. Moving on, our next mon is our Crawdaunt here. Crawdaunt is extremely important in this game, even though it doesn't outspeed very much. Actually, that's a lie, it outspeeds quite a bit, but for the first time ever, we are running Crabhammer over Liquidation. Crabhammer is 100 base power compared to Liquidation's base 85, but it also has a 10% chance to miss, which is absolutely terrifying. But I really want that 15 extra power points just to hit as hard as freaking possible. I probably won't be clicking it too often because I'm running Swords Dance and Knockoff, and in reality, Knockoff is going to hit the things that Aqua Jet would want to hit better, so, or that Aqua Jet wouldn't want to hit, and Aqua Jet hits everything for really good damage. Basically, the only reason why I have Crab Hammer is there for the Conkeldurr, which we would outspeed if it's Adamant, and it would be there as well for, I guess, Escavalier and Claydol. So, but even then, Claydol would be hit with a knockoff, so it's really just Escavalier, Barbaracle, and Conkeldurr, so there's that, and knockoff can hit 2 of those mons for really solid damage. Oh, I guess also the Obstagoon, but Obstagoon's not gonna, like, we're gonna die to any Obstagoon hit unless he goes for like close combat or something, which would let us live a hit because of our Chople Berry. We also take a Mach Punch from a Guts boosted Conkeldurr no matter what. There are some hits, some other fighting hits we can take if it's not Guts. If it's like an Assault Vest set, we should be able to be fine there, and Crab Hammer can do tons of damage. And if we get to +2, my god, it's gonna be rough for our opponents. They're gonna have to use like one of their faster mons to outspeed us, and even then we can fire off an Aqua Jet and do minimum like 30% to them, so I'll definitely take that. And 30% is on the low side. That's if we fire off an Aqua Jet on like the Noivern, so hopefully we can do better there. Our next mon is going to be our Rapidash here. I'm running Banded Rapidash. The first time I'm not running a defensive one. And Rapidash, surprisingly, has come to half of our games now. This is nuts. Rapidash. Like, this was like our last pick, so surprise, surprise. It is Flame Body this week because there's no real need to run Flash Fire. My opponent really only has one Fire type move, and that's, well, a few Fire type moves. He has, like, Conkeldurr's Fire Punch, and he's got, like, Gardevoir's Mystical Fire, which, again, not the end of the world. So we have this set here, which is really strong. It's Banded this week because honestly, I was running a couple different sets. I was thinking about Swords Dance set with the same 3 moves you have there over Baton Pass, and I was also thinking about Flame Charge over Baton Pass with the Charcoal as my item, but both of them didn't really do too much. I really wanted more damage output. The only thing that outspeeds this is the Noivern, and if we can get rid of that thing pretty early, then we're in an amazing spot, and we should take at least 1 hit from Noivern. I believe Hurricane will take, but we won't take Draco, so there's that. But I'm hoping that this thing can do tons of damage because my opponent's Fire Resist. There's Arachnid with the Water Bubble, there's the Barbaracle, and that's it. Oh, and the Noivern, but like, again, Noivern, I think we can play around that pretty well. But looking at the mons that my opponent resists, or has that resist fire, it's 2 water types, so Wild Charge, and a Dragon type, so play rough. So I'll take that for sure. Baton Pass is pretty much there just for momentum. I doubt I'm ever going to be clicking it. We can't actually use this to pass subs or pass stats at all, so there's that. I have to take note of that for future reference, but Baton Pass is definitely legal, so we have to consider that as an option moving forward. Our next mon is going to be our Clefable here with a Choice Scarf. Yes, I'm running Scarf Clefable this week. It's a pretty solid set, a lot faster than I want it to be. The speed is for Jolly Obstagoon. Originally, I had speed for Adamant Obstagoon, but running speed for Jolly is important because it speed ties with my Xatu, so it might want to run that Jolly spread just to get that 50% chance that will outspeed me and win the speed tie and then get a KO with knockoff or whatever. So this having speed for that is amazing, and we can get the KO with Moonblast. Trick is really useful to cripple my opponent's walls. Something like the Conkeldurr wouldn't appreciate it, Trick, the Arachnid wouldn't appreciate it, the Claydol, the Gourgeist, the Escavalier, even the Barbaracle would stop it from setting up a Shell Smash on us, so that's pretty important. But I really do want to keep the Scarf on this because we can do 50% at least to the Gardevoir, which is very valuable damage, especially if that thing ends up being a Life Orb set, which could be very scary. But if he Scarfed himself, then it's good information because I'll be able to get a hit off while figuring out, okay, he's locked into, I don't know, Psychic or something. I can go into my my Crawling. He's locked into Moonblast. Let me go into my Rapidash. So we'll see what he wants to do. We have a couple of immunities to different things on his team, so hopefully we can get the job done there. This coverage is fantastic. It's the best coverage that we can possibly have because we hit his entire team for amazing damage. Moonblast hits, what, 1, 2, 3 mons super effectively. Psychic hits 1, or Psyshock, excuse me, 1, I believe just 1, yeah, it's just the 1, or 2 actually, excuse me, but I would hit Moonblast on the Conkeldurr unless I think it's Assault Vest. But with Flamethrower, that's important because we hit Escavalier, Gourgeist for super effective damage, which both were going to be eating up hits from Clefable beforehand, so hopefully we can get the job done with this set. Our next mon is going to be our Xatu here with the exact same type coverage, Fire, Psychic, and Fairy. With U-Turn this time around, we're running a Life Orb set with speed for Jolly Obstagoon. We actually have enough investment to guarantee take a Timid Draco from Noivern. It could be modest, I have to be aware of that, but my opponent could be kind of I guess concerned about certain speed boosts that I can do. Maybe he wants to outspeed Crawdons while I'm at +1. He might think that's important, so we'll see. But yeah, the same coverage as Clefable, Magic Bounce to prevent his webs from going up. And I was kind of worried about what I would lead with this game. I led with this in my mock, and it turned out pretty well. My opponent led with Noivern. He U-turned out into Toxtricity as I went for the Dazzling Gleam, and then I Psyshocked and got the KO. And honestly, we were able to chip down on my opponent's team pretty well. I still lost the mock, but I'm hoping that we can do better because I have the information now. U-turn is very valuable. It outspeeds his entire team except for the Obstagoon, which is speed ties, and the Noivern. So we gotta be very careful with this mon because it can be very solid for my team. Our next and final one is going to be our Snorlax here. Fun fact, this is the final week we're going to be using Snorlax. This is one of the mons that we dropped. Snorlax just hasn't performed up to expectation for me. It's been really tough, especially with all the incredible physical attackers in this generation, all the powerful fighting moves, everything got us to close combat and superpower and drain punch and brick break and whatever, so body press as well as a thing. So I don't think Snorlax is the best pick, but going for this game, at least it's decent. It gets the job done. It was the ideal 6th mon. I really didn't know what else to bring, but I'm running the counter set again on it. Why? Because our opponent has mostly physical attackers: Obstagoon, Conkeldurr, Araquanid, Escavalier, Barbarical. We can take a hit and then fire back a counter and just get the KO. He crashes there for the Escavalier. We should KO it 100% of the time, pretty much. We definitely KO a max HP Escavalier. Escavalier won't outspeed us unless he's got a decent chunk of EVs and speed, which I don't expect. Conkeldurr won't KO us with a Guts boosted Adamant Close Combat, excuse me, and Obstagoon won't KO us with a Guts boosted Adamant Facade after Rocks. So that's important to note. Body Slam is there for pretty much everything except for the Toxtricity, which Earthquake is there for, and Heat Crash is there for the Escavalier, and that is our team. I'm nervous. I think we've lost 3 of our last 4 weeks for this league, and I'm hoping that we can end that streak tonight. We really need to get the win and continue our streak for playoffs. We do have 4 weeks after this to play, week 9, 10, 11, and 12, so hopefully it's not going to be a make or break moment for us, but I really want to do well. We started off this season so freaking fantastic, and I want to continue that going, so let's just go ahead and get started with the battle. Alright everyone, we're back. Looking at this team that he's bringing, everything's female, so my attract strategy is going to work. No, so he brought basically the team that I expected. Instead of the Araquanid, there's the Escavalier, so I don't have to worry about webs, which is very nice. Looking at this, I may want to just lead off with my Xatu, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. What else? What would be a threat? Yeah, I'm just going to you know what? I could just lead off with Rapidash here, so I think I'll do that. No, I need Rapidash around to deal with the, what is that thing called? The Escavalier. So I'm going to lead off with Xatu here. I have my Heat Wave, so this will be the plan, and let's see what we can do. Alright, so have fun to my opponent, and let's get started. Okay, so Mid and I played before in the past. We're pretty even, I'd say, in terms of win-loss, so we'll see. We'll see how this one goes. He's a good player, so make sure to go and check him out. His link should be in the description. He leads off with Toxtricity. I'm definitely cool with that. We'll see, I guess, if he's Scarf or not. And that would be that's important. So I'm going to go ahead and fire off my Psyshock. And we'll see what he wants to do. As he does just switch out, and what is he going to go into? He goes into a Escavalier. Okay, let's see how much damage this is going to do. So it looks like he's probably not going to be Scarf on his Toxtricity. We do a solid chunk of damage to him. Does he reveal Leftovers? He does not. And I think a pretty safe bet would be for me to go for Heat Wave here. What would he go into? That's the question. He probably went to Noivern if anything, and I can just freely go for that Heat Wave, so I'm going to do that. Heat Wave. I just want to get rid of this thing. It's a resist to my Clefable, and once the Toxtricity and the Escavalier are gone, I can just freely click Moonblast instead of Psyshock or Flamethrower. So there's that, and he switches out, and he's going to go into the Noivern. Yep, so good play on his part. That's fine. He frisks, he already knew we were a Life Orb, so that's okay. And he misses, we miss anyways, so that's fantastic. At least we get out of the way early. There's that. What would he go for? I think I'll just go Clef. And we'll see what he wants to do. He might just want to U-turn. Clefable against Noivern. I'm at 171 HP. He goes for Hurricane, and he connects. Of course he does. Like, of course he fucking does. We miss Heat Wave. He lands Hurricane. 171 minus 38 is 133. So Noivern, let's take a look. Hurricane. He's like modest specs. Yeah, he's modest specs for sure. I don't have any flying resist, so I think what I'm going to do is just go hard into my Snorlax here. Snorlax is not super important, so I'm going to do that. He Hurricanes again. He connects again. Does under half, but he confuses us this time. Okay, of course. Yep, that's totally cool. Okay, what would he go into? I'm just gonna body slam here. Like, he's landed 2 Hurricanes in a row, and he confused me on one of them, and the one that mattered. So in comes Conkeldurr, which kind of sucks. Do we break through? Of course not. Of course not. And he is Guts. So, like, can anything please start going my way just this game? I would love to land that Heat Wave. I'm starting to get really frustrated because, like, I have to counter here. I have to. We'll see what he does. As he knockoffs, please, for the love of God, break through. Fucking break through. Thank you. Okay, this thing is gone at least. Oh my god. That would have been the end of the fucking world if I didn't break through there. It would have been absolutely terrible. Okay. Oh. That's absolutely huge. And if he had gone for a Drain Punch, he probably would have got the KO there. So, he went for knockoff, making a prediction that I would switch into my Xatu or my Clef, I guess. But, oh boy, that is huge. That's one of the 2 biggest threats, being the Obstagoon, and that's gone. And again, I think that his Noivern is Specs. I think he's modest Specs. And we know he has Hurricane. As he goes into Obstagoon here. And we'll see what he does. He definitely wants to get that flame body, Guts off. I'll fire off a Body Slam. And I don't really need this thing anymore. It's done its job. As he knockoffs, he gets the KO. And he's going to reveal Guts on this as well, right? He does not, so no Guts. It could be Scarfed. So it's not Guts, we know that. What does it get in terms of moves that can hit my Como? Nothing crazy. It gets Double Edge. So I think I'll go Como, and I guess what I'm going to try and do is set up. So let's do that. Let's go Como and set up, and I should probably remove Snorlax from my screen now. There you are. Okay. Let's Dragon Dance. And we'll see what he wants to do here. As he doubles out. Yep, that makes sense. And in comes Escavalier. That's cool. So we're at +1 now. Against an Escavalier. We should be doing around 47 to 55 is just max HP with Drain Punch. So I'm going to go for that Drain Punch here. This thing does get counter. I do know that. I can't really play around it, so we'll see. Does he go for his own? He goes for Iron Head. This is going to do 151 down to 82. Okay. And I will go for a second Drain Punch here. And this should get the KO, as it does. Right? It does. Great. So 1 kill for Como. And let's get rid of Escavalier. That's good, and we're sitting at a solid amount of HP. We outspeed the Gardevoir, which is great, so if he has Scarf, we still outspeed that. Noivern will outspeed, and he knows we're Habanberry. We're also at +1. I know he's not Scarf. He just couldn't have been the amount of damage he did to Clef. So this is good. Dragon Claw should OHKO. Again, I'm pretty sure he's either like Hurricane, like Flying Plate, or whatever the equivalent of that is. But we'll see what he wants to go for. We're at +1, so this is absolutely massive. as there's an ambulance going on outside, or fire truck, excuse me, as he goes into Toxtricity, and we'll see what he wants to do. 50. Sludge Wave, if he specs, can do enough to KO me. Can do at most 123. I don't really know what he would want to go for here. I'm wondering if I play this Drain Punch first, get that extra little bit of recovery back, and then go for the Dragon Claw. So, I don't know. I think... this is a tough one. I don't know how much I value the damage off on this thing. I have 20 seconds left, because I can really kind of wear it down easily. I do want to keep this thing alive, though, so I think I'm going to go for the Drain Punch. In case he is specs, okay, just in case he specs, I can get back enough recovery to the point where hopefully I can live the hit. As we do just under half, about 40%. And we're at, what are we at? 110, and we're now at 143. We should take this hit. As he goes for Sludge Wave, we should take this if he's timid specs. And we do. So Drain Punch was the right play. He is definitely specs, 100%, and we can now Dragon Claw. So this is fantastic. That worked out perfectly. And Dragon Claw comes out, and we get the KO. So it's 2 kills now for Como. That worked out amazingly. Wow. The fact that I went, oh my god, I'm so happy I made that play. Like, just on the off chance that he ended up being specs, it was a nightmare. And the fact that he ended up being specs there was fantastic. So that means that both of the options that are faster, or that resist Moonblast, are gone now. Okay, he is Trace, gets Soundproof. Yeah, my play is to Poison Jab here, 100%. So I'm going to Poison Jab, we'll see if he's the berry. As we Poison Jab, he is not the berry. Is he sashed? He is not sashed. That's a 3rd kill for Como. Oh my god. This literally could not be going any fucking better. Wow. Honestly, the second we got that counter off, everything has changed for us. The second the counter got off, it was completely changed. This is amazing. So he brings in his Obstagoon here. I'm going to go for Drain Punch. He's probably not Scarfed. He probably would have gone into that instead of the Gardevoir. As we get the Drain Punch off, he's not Troubleberry. Is he sashed? He probably isn't, because again, he would have done that before. And that's 4 kills for Como, and all that's left is what looks to be a Specs Noivern. So Como is about to carry us to a 5-0 win while getting 5 kills on itself, all on its own. Insane. Oh my god, you guys have no idea how absolutely big this is, because there's a bunch of teams right now that are 4 wins, 3 losses. And the fact that we can, like, get a 5-0 win against one of these teams that is 4 wins, 3 losses is going to be so fucking big. It's just going to come down. Wow. Wow. 5 kills. That crit did not matter. He was not Habonberry, so it didn't matter. Wow. GG's. I will definitely take that. 5-0 win. That's our second 5-0 win this season. We had the 5-0 win with Vikavolt, and then Como comes in and gets 5 kills itself. That was awesome. That's absolutely amazing. Like, the good news with this is, I'm just going to say, we were able to force things in with Xatu. We were able to really scare things out with Como. That counter, I cannot say how important that fucking counter was. Without the counter there, I don't think we can, like, we just can't do that with Como. It's just not possible. So that's absolutely huge. Oh my god, I was getting so frustrated at the beginning. I'm still kind of mad that he landed 2 Hurricanes, for crying out loud. But, okay, this is good. 5-3 with +9 differential. Let's do it, all right? We've had a rough stretch. Let's go on a run. We got 4 weeks left, all right? GG's to my opponent. Make sure to go and check him out. A bit of an unfortunate situation where he was forced to be in his Obstagoon where it wasn't Guts. If it was Guts, I probably wouldn't have been able to set up. If he, I definitely would not have been able to do it, because he would have gone off the damage as I go for a Dragon Dance, and it would have changed everything. But if he had gone for a Parting Shot there, everything changes. Us being at neutral instead of +1 was honestly a big deal. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on the video. Como is the MVP, so I can't really say comment your MVP down below. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys sticking around. We'll be back on, I believe, Monday. We should have a BBL battle. So it's either this Monday or next Monday, but it's playoffs, so we'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time.